Here is an Arctic Wind 16-inch oscillating table fan model CH1640-DF. Now, this being a product of 2011, at this point in time, the quality of most of the fans made in China pretty much dropped to the lowest standards. And it's surprising that this fan for 2011 still maintained its quality standards, from the grills to the blade, pretty much the plastic in general. Now this one was found on the sidewalk inside a trash bin that I guess was about to be thrown out. All I saw was just it was just dirty. There was not much dust on it. Nothing seemed to be broken, but there were signs of deterioration, such as the adjustment knob, which broke off. So this has no proper tilting mechanism until I get another one of those screws. And for a strange reason, the front motor cover is also deteriorating. Now, what's impressive about this fan is that everything else is in good shape. The plastic is not yellowed on any component, not even the badge or the blade. So it's very strange how the front motor cover and the adjustment knob are deteriorating, but not the rest of the fan, which you would expect. So I don't know how that is, but I'm guessing the plastics used on some of these components are different to others. So let's take a closer look at it. Now, this design of the base, I'm assuming it was based off the SMC TH16. Just from the design alone, the TH16 has a similar design where the base pretty much curves up and then curves back down. And the switch layout is pretty much the same, except the buttons are pretty much rectangular in a straight line. And it has the ridges on each side. This one doesn't. Now, the texture of the plastic is different compared to the rest. This portion is actually textured, while the rest is glossy, which is quite weird. I've never seen something like that. At first, I thought this was maybe starting to have sun damage, but it turns out it's not the case, as you can clearly see the lining between the glossy portion and the texture portion of the base, which is quite impressive. So of course this fan is one of those Duracraft knockoffs. I believe it's made by the I forgot what the manufacturer is, but I guess it was made by the same manufacturer. Now this manufacturer, they made some of the cool breeze fans back in the late 90s, as well as the Weatherworks fans. And they also made a fan that was brand Titan, which I'd never seen before, but that fan I don't have because that one was also in bad shape. So it ended up being sold as a stand fan. But yeah, it's a quite interesting fan nonetheless. I just don't see these that often. But anyways, it's time to turn it on. I did test it and it still works. It just needs work on the bearings, and I need to clean up the grills after this. But here it is. Hi. Doesn't run as fast as it should. The airflow is not really that bad. It's quite decent. But the balance is not really that good, as I can see the fan vibrating a lot right now. I don't know if you could see that. Let's just hope that the camera doesn't cancel it out. Alright, let's take a close look now. Yeah, I could see some vibration going on through the camera. So that kind of tells you how unbalanced this blade is. Let's see from this edge. Let's see if that makes a difference. It's mostly canceling it out, but I could pretty much still see the vibrations coming out of this fan. It does seem like the blade hub is wobbling a bit. So that kind of tells me that's a sign of the blade being out of balance. So let's take a look up here then. So you can hear the fan going up to speed despite the bearings being locked up. Yeah, it seems like one of the blades is off clock. I might see if I might use some glue for that. Maybe use some glue inside the blade hub, if that's the case. But yeah, I could pretty much feel it. It is vibrating very excessively to the table as well. At least this one is not as atrocious as that Lasco wall fan that had the very unbalanced blade. Therefore, it was causing the walls to shake a lot while the fan was running. But I feel a lot of vibrations going to the table that the fan is sitting on, which is crazy. So there is medium. Seems to be a quite slight change in airflow. And also there is a good difference between speeds. But I can just see how unbalanced the blade is on this speed. So let's try to get much closer again. Let's see this. Yep. That blade is definitely out of balance. Just look at how much it's vibrating. At this point, it's no surprise, considering that this fan is made in China, and also this fan is pretty much 12 years old at this point, 12, 13. But yeah, you can pretty much see how much it's vibrating right there. And I feel it through the table, which is pretty much abysmal. Doesn't seem to be, it's quite quiet on the low speed. But you know, because it's a larger fan, I don't really expect it to. So here are the oscillations. There seems to be some creaking going on in the back. Actually, no, never mind. That is not something having to do with the wire. It's actually the blade. It's out of it. Yep. I don't know how the person who had this was able to sleep through the constant tapping of the fan while it was trying to oscillate to the right. For some reason, it doesn't do that when it oscillates to the left, but it just does it when it goes to the right. Something tells me that this space is uneven on the surface. This is Alright, let's try that again. Yep. It's uneven. And I can pretty much tell it doesn't sit properly on the floor. Let me see the bottom again. I mean, it's quite strange that this thing is not sitting evenly, but all of the feet are there. That is awful. I mean, from the unbalanced blade to the vibrating of the table, this is not really the best fan out there, despite it being a higher quality for its time. Let me say that again. Yep. That's quite disappointing right there. Let's see if it goes away. So this fan is it's way less obnoxious on high speed compared to the slower speeds. But that tapping was just insane. But at least the good thing is that the gearbox, it runs very smooth. There is no issue with it. But I might have to clean the motor still, as there's dust accumulated inside. But yeah, not really impressed with the balance or the fact that the table was just vibrating on top of the table. But there is that. The spin that was decent, but I'm going to still clean up the bearings. But in the meantime, that is the Arctic Wind 16-inch table fan model CH1640-DF from 2011.